Hello everybody, welcome back to another MoisTea gaming video. Quick sit prep while we're on it. The Entente has more troops than what we have on the line. We have invested heavily in aircraft to hopefully counteract some of this. Lots of murdering has been happening at Verdun. And we also need to eye up Calais. If you watched the previous episode, you would have seen some of the murderings happening at Verdun. We only need 1 star left now to take the province by force. Not much left to do bar from end the turn, and I fully expect the enemy to be a nuisance and attack Rethel with the sheer numbers of units they have at the border here. Even Bouncers is looking a bit skeptical. Any of these down here only have 2 stars before they can be captured, so I really need to be on guard here. Let's end the turn and see what happens. Ooh, interesting. They didn't attack. Got our gold reserves increasing and the research points are streaming in. Oh, here we go. Zeppelin bombers, an initial foray into bombing London with Zeppelin airstrips hasn't gone well. But the idea itself has potential. Our officers have a plan for an extensive bombing campaign into England using airships supported by naval fleets. Well, how can we do that if we're blockaded? But okay. Such a campaign could have both logistical and morale effects on our enemies if successful. If we only get plus 15 national will for it, I'm definitely not willing to spend 1,000 gold on it. I'd rather have the cash and do other things with it. It looks like the enemy have managed to rejig their lines, so now Perigny looks like the most likely to be attacked. Or even Vouchers, there's still 10 death stacks there waiting. Even over here now looks just everywhere. They've got so many troops now floating around. It's getting dangerous. Gonna save up the research points. I'd like the extra cash, but we'll see. Might even be able to do without that. I want the chlorine gas for some mass murdering. And the tank warfare for some armoured murdering. Got the planes, I'm happy with them. The unread event, a battle of the Somme begins. The Allies agreed on joint offensives to press Central Powers from all directions. Britain, France, Russia and Italy would all attack at the same time in different locations. For Britain and France, that location was the Somme. More than 3 million men fought in the conflict. The Allies retook 6 miles of ground from the Germany at a cost of a third of the people who fought there. That is ridiculous. That is somewhere where I've always wanted to have a gander at the Somme. Have you ever been there? Let me know in the comments. Verdun has been reinforced with a further 3 corps. Let's try and take this by force now, hopefully for the final battle. I want to get this done simply because this will shorten our line and give us an additional 12 corps which we can use to potentially take wipers, which will also shorten our front line. We need to do this desperately, seeing as the enemy appear to have more troops on the battlefield. I have to be able to counter this as best as I possibly can. We talked about campaign goals, but with the limited national will at the beginning of this campaign, and the pressing threat from the British and numbers in general, I think our goal, once we've shortened our lines slightly, we should go for Calais. Do that early, seeing as we did that right at the end in the last section of the 1914. Do it early. I wonder if it will actually come up with something a bit more properly for it. So we'll go for Calais. Once that's done, we'll go for an encirclement around here in this northern section and trap the enemy by the sea. Let's get stuck in. I'm actually going to deploy another supply depot here. Or do I? No, we'll do it without. Let's go. Gonna try and do some funky maneuvers with these raiders and see how we can get on. Looking at how the enemy trenches are right now, I think the best point of attack will be to be going for B. Get in here. We'll approach from around this area, run straight forwards. Suppress this after some barraging. The men shouldn't get too confused because we can just send 8 in, or maybe 9, maybe 8. Take these forward ones, which we can then support and push forward slightly to allow room for more units to get in. And then begin wriggling round here in these connected trenches. Notice how the enemy have a few of these fat bunkers in now. I wonder if they'll use them to protect their troops from the artillery bombardment. Taking this section head on will be a little bit too much, simply because there's no way you can suppress all of that. One thing I do want to try though is once we get over here perhaps, get some of the raiders in and try a tactic that I wanted to implement, which is just running across, literally straight across, and seeing if the raiders will lob grenades in while the elites run down and murder anybody else that remains. I do want to try that tactic. Could even try it a little bit here. Try it with some raiders and some flamethrower troops perhaps. I'm also going to implement some mortar positions. These are very good. Look at that range. If the enemy do decide to attack and take this front trench, then they're going to get hammered by it, forcing them to run further forward, which will then also mean more death. I've done it on X and on Y as well. If you remember episode 23, this is where we did the massive comms trench section. So if the enemy do decide to attack, we should be able to reinforce. Here we go. Let's try and have a gander. We've got 4 heavies, 2 lights, the standard for me, with some mortar emplacements just in case. Gonna have 4 elites stationed just randomly over here until we know if they're going to attack or not. Let's get the Air Force, not the Air Force, the balloon up in the air. Lots of them floating around. Oh, they've got their mortar teams in as well. They are not nice to face. Thankfully, there isn't many over here. We've got a snippet of barbed wire. I don't think one is going to do too much. Just counted, there are 23 units here, which means there are some left accounted for. There'll be 2 in the command trench, and a few artilleries, no doubt, probably a little bit far back. Let's start bombing them straight away. Get rid of that balloon. Get rid of some of these units guarding this first section. We can weaken these, getting in initially should be easier. We can experiment to see just how good the raiders are at the tactic of just running for it. That should be interesting. With the balloon down, the enemy is sending a couple of units forward. Oh, they've got the planes in. Damn it. I'm going to have to put my balloon down for a second and have a superiority mission blown in. Bit of air combat, eh? Just got artillery sending off while we watch this for a moment. We've got a good angle on them. They are going down, at least one of them is. Yeah, the other one must be as well. They've got more planes coming now. Excellent. They do have more. Get the balloon up in the sky. see what that does. Don't want to waste too much time. We are sending fresh units in. We'll need to take this rather quickly. We're going to take down more of their planes in a moment. Oh, they're going to lose one of ours though. One of theirs done. One of ours is down. And our other one is going to go down. We're going to lose that. Never mind. Better put the balloon down actually. Actually, no, that should be a air superiority mission, meaning our balloon can stay up. More artillery is being lobbed over. This is going to be the last one before we launch the attack. Sending more over the top. Means we could use this to our advantage. Yeah, we're going to have to go for it now. I think. Just have to wait that little bit longer. We need the cannons to reload. The men are off. Let's get the artillery barrage ready. Artillery on the way. The men are running. They're sending arty of their own. I need to suppress this section. Quick chaps, go for it. Pretend the RT isn't coming down and everything will be fine. Need to keep hold of this just in case the enemy decide to get in there without me wanting them to. We are getting shot at. They have been eliminated. We are in that trench. More are approaching from this section. We need to suppress that quickly. I couldn't get them home in time, unfortunately. Let's see if we can burn these out. Not too sure how this is going to work. They, for some reason, decided to go over the top, which is not ideal. Need to get down here. Let's send these both that way. The raiders have all been murdered. We can blow some of these guys coming up this way and get more troops in. Just done some jiggling in the background, moving units around. Let's see if we can get these flamethrowers more in the action. I really want to be burning these units out. That is what we've come here for. You need to support your buddies quickly. You need to go over there. We have balloons. Oh, they took out our balloon. Didn't realise. Damn it. Never mind. We can do without. I suppose we roughly know where they're going to be. Got more troops on the way. They didn't quite get to what I wanted them to. Send some more of them in there. We're doing alright, just need to keep pushing down that way now. Gonna readjustment, arting these to shut them up. These are gonna shoot them hopefully. Gonna keep this area strong. I think the enemy are gonna keep reinforcing from this section so we can use that to our advantage by keeping them busy. Do with getting a few more troops in here. Let's keep this going. We are now quite happily holding this. Gonna have to keep an eye on the men over here though, that is the thing. Bombarding these, hopefully doing some good work on them. I'm not too sure what's going to be in there. Need to start bombarding this lot as well. They're going to keep feeding units down, I think. Oh, here we go. We don't actually know what's in there until they do come out. These need to go home. They're tired. If we can keep this happy, we'll be okay. We'll just have 2 there for the time being. These are going to need reinforcing. We also need troops stationed over here. Don't want them to come too close from that trench. Those have had to go home. This is where we could have done with that balloon, but never mind. I know there's some mortars over here from memory, so we better take those out with the bombing mission, but also we're going to need a air superiority mission at the same time for when they send their aircraft in to counter that. Let's keep going. Those men appear to be having a funny do, so we can bomb them while they're deciding what to do. Also some units floating around here, which we can see. Let's get men moving around. Get these going. That's it. Their aircraft are floating around. Quite nice models. Ours aren't too shabby either. Quite a few of them over here. They appear to be running over the top a little bit. If we can get over there, that will be good. We need to send these units to tell them to keep going. We need to bombard these while we have the artillery. We could do with some free men. Even a harassment plane might be a good idea. Let's get that happening. So all these men running around are going to get blapped. There is their artillery. We have to make sure we've got quite a few things we need to keep an eye on, to be fair. These units being one of them. Let's keep bombarding them. Hoping the harassment plane gets the men which are floating around, being a nuisance to us. Whereas the harassment plane bomber floating around, quite good pieces of kit. They keep bombarding me there. I have to keep wiggling those troops around. These need to go home, and they are well and truly done. We can do something about this. That would be very nice. Not too sure what's going on there. We have enemy aircraft. Again, we need to get the air superiority mission in. This is still holding fairly strong. The enemy could even start coming from this direction, so we need to remain vigilant on this section. Let's get a few men over the top there. That should be able to deal with that quite happily while we deal with this. Plenty of them over here. Let's start some bombing as well. Ooh, they're bombing me from that mortar position. I don't like that. I'm going to have to make sure that disappears. This isn't actually connected, this section. But really we need to come over this way. It keeps blowing me up, not going to lie. They keep coming. I'm going to have to move them over there quite quickly. See if we can just keep going down here. Get our men over there a little bit better. Things should be happy. Plenty of troops over here. We're going to need to get some more reinforcements in now. Let's block that up and send these over. Plenty of troops now. We just need to get them into position. Hoping we can keep going. They seem to have missed on their artillery a little bit. We just need to get going this way. We need to use our RT a little bit more as well. They're certainly sending units this way for whatever reason. I bet we've actually lost quite a few planes in this so far, to be fair. These need to go home. I'd like to know what's over at sea right now. We also can kind of do with taking A relatively quickly now. Time is pressing. Let's keep pushing. Just taking time to get our troops over, really. That is the annoying thing. We keep sending them over. Actually going to try and be cheeky now and do a quick grab of C just to stop the time. We're going to lose troops here, but we're going to have to do it. Has to be done. Let's have a look and see what's over here quickly. Machine gun, let's suppress that. Presuming there might be something over here as well. Hopefully it doesn't murder us too quickly. I give you orders. Had to give them more orders. For some reason they didn't want to do that. Over here still looking a bit rough. We need to blow some of these up for sure. Gonna get harassment playing in because... oh no, they went over the top and I didn't want them to. So many of them. We need men up in that section, but they're all doing silly things. Don't even know where they are at this point. We managed to get into this section now, that's quite promising. However, those are murdering us quite happily. That is not ideal. Gonna send more men over to C from this direction and support this section. We can just get a couple over there and take that. That would be ideal actually. You don't need to run over, just run. Hopefully they don't get caught out. You just need to go home. Hopefully they do the job. I don't think they will though. I think these troops are broken. I don't know where any of them actually are. This is slowing us down greatly. Can't really reinforce our troops this way without it. We can keep bombarding them though. Don't even know where they are. Come on chaps. If anyone can tell me what is going on here, please do. Because I certainly don't. Right, we're kind of in now. Let's move them up. Same with these two. Still don't quite know where these units are though. Sure we've lost one in the process. Lots of units running around there. We're actually taking this section now. That's very good for us. We can start stopping that clock. That is what's holding us back right now. And pushing down that side too will be very good. The enemy are actually starting to push back at this section. Troops have just come out of that bunker, quite annoying. And they keep starting to push back down this way. We can start bombarding them a bit, but I'm getting a bit low on supply. Which isn't great. We can push that way slightly. I'm not managing to get the result that I want out of the raiders because I'm not using them in the correct way. I know that is for sure. They're all getting stuck. Let's go back in. We're having more success from this direction. So we can use that to our advantage now. Take out these guns. Let's keep pushing from this direction. This might be the way forward. We can get some units down here. At least to keep funneling them down this way. Hoping we can at least get the timer to stop, which we have, capturing this section. I'm gonna have to send somebody in there because I can't just leave that open all this time. You two go home. Don't stop moving, chaps. Just keep going. Get rid of those artilleries. Then we are winning. Wondering if I can use these raiders that I've got here just to attack them straight away. That might be interesting. All of their artillery is now exposed. Just need to keep going this way. Look at this. This is how you use them. Throw them in like that. Then come back. Keep them on the sides and we can do that quite happily. Let's get some more troops in down this way. Get them to attack that. As long as they don't actually... Oh, see, that's where you have trouble. From the sides, they are fantastic. I just have to be aware. I need to keep these troops quite happy at least. Sending more troops this way. Needs to be done. Keep them busy. They need to go home at this point. We need to stop the timer again. We need to get in that command trench immediately. Let's just send units straight over there. It's going to have to be done. Send those home. You can attack that while we send these units into these trenches. Hopefully, they get in the trench instead of being a little bit silly. Don't think the enemy have too many left. We can bombard some of these. That will be very good. Let's do that. Send those over straight away. Hopefully they won't get shot actually. Found some units lurking down here that we can use. There they are. Get them run across. We definitely need troops in here though. Take that trench. We are good. We need to make sure they stop being silly running above the trench. They've just been murdered for it. They now actually need to go home. I'll get them back in there. That's it. We're not too bad now. We've got to keep pushing down this way. I think we've got this now. This has been a very costly one. Not how things usually go. Not too many of them left now. We can keep sending troops in. Not too sure why they keep running out the trench. There was enough room. Oh, we're going to have one or two run back down to sea now, aren't we? We need to reinforce this. If only it would give me a place to put them, that would be lovely. All done, and nearly done. Excellent work. We are nearly capturing everything at this point. Pretty much going to call this a wrap. Going to get just a couple more units in there. We are good. It's still lingering. I think they're actually stuck now. Bit annoying when you're on the clock. Get troops in there. Just do it quickly. Get a few over there for if in case the enemy decides to go over the top, we can murder them still. These are the last remnants of them, and we have captured everything. There's actually still some artilleries there, I think. They are active guns. They may have been destroyed though, I'm not too sure. No, they are definitely gone. Still showing on the map for some reason. Maybe that's what the bomber destroyed earlier, if it managed to get down there, that was. Wonder how many planes we lost. This has definitely been a bloody battle. It is Verdun, I suppose. And that's the last of the troops. There you go, we've done it. That was a bit of a bloodbath. Definitely more bloody for me than normal. Oh, we did it though. That is the main thing. That cost us quite a bit of money. We did murder 15,000 men. We lost 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8. Actually, that wasn't too bad. I thought we were going to be a lot worse off than that. We took off nearly 3,000 quid off the enemy though. They destroyed 4 fighter aircraft. We destroyed 7. I'd have thought we'd have lost a bomber, but never mind. Not a bad thing. And we have captured Verdun by force. National will change in our favour. -21 for the Allies. Here we go. Taking ground. We have completed the hard task of moving the front line a significant amount. And Verdun captured. We have taken Verdun. Great source of pride for Germany. Yes, it is. We took it by force, which is even more difficult than what you would expect. I've just realised as well, do you know we had the special map for Verdun? These fortress things here must be the regions where the forts appear from. So we attacked from Metz, and that's where we encountered that fort, whereas at Stanay there isn't one. Something you might want to bear in mind in your campaign if you're doing a playthrough. All that is left to do now is counter the enemy's movements, which they have done. We have 12 more calls now to play with that shortening of the line, which gives us enough to bolster our forces for a potential attack on Wipers and then moving on to Calais. Thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, thank you.